guns, we have a better chance for everyone.
We love our guns because we love freedom. What a beautiful idea, Mel.
It is.
This is Nephi Khaliki, and this is the Double Tap Show. We're here every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m., whether you like it or not. And joining me in the studio, as usual, is my partner in crime, the call and ambulance guy, Mel.
Okay, Nephi. Yo, what do you have for us today? Make it good.
Well, I wanted to kind of recap because you did something you haven't ever done before. You went to a Republican meeting.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was at the election meeting.
What's your? So we had the.
It was what was my opinion? Great comedy.
But I wasn't up there talking the whole time.
No, when you were up there, it was kind of serious. I mean, but yeah, I'm sure it's the same in Democratic and everywhere else. It's just these people. It seems like don't have a clue what they're doing, and that is. I mean, remember they did vote in the wrong person. That is one thing, but we won't. I don't know if we want. You're going to get into that now or not?
No. Let it out, Mel.
Well, that's it because of what I learned from you from being on this show. But it seemed to me to be close. He had, I think it was 280 votes to her 250 or 230. It was
off by exactly how much I said it was going to be.
50 votes?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, then I was correct. That's what I added up, which to me is close. But I was very impressed with Jill's comments that she made. Her speech was really good and great applause, but Jesse had more support. Is that what you're saying?
You know how I feel about it.
Well, yes.
I think there's a couple of problems that I have with the whole process. Number one, people who are running for re-election, they should not be anywhere near the election itself.
That's true.
They shouldn't be touching ballots. They shouldn't be doing their jobs that day. Somebody else. It's such a conflict of interest to be counting your own ballots. Everybody in the CCRP executive board was running for re-election.
Yes.
So they're running their own re-election.
Well,
that's like the wolf guarding the hen house.
It's not good for the hens.
No, and I'm not suggesting anything other than it just should not be that way. So I'm gonna make some motions that is something that is changed in the future, that other parties, chairmen from other counties should draw names out of a hat to see who's going to run each other's elections.
In other words, you're saying that Jesse should
impartiality.
He was running the whole thing as the
chairman.
He's
running his own thing,
which I thought was kind of
that's nowhere
strange or wrong.
That is it is wrong.
Wrong. I mean,
Don't tempt people. Don't tempt people.
Okay.
Right. The other thing is the biggest issue I had is that Jesse had access to all of the voter rolls and people that have been there before and didn't come back. And there was no hard start and stop. There was no definable field because it kept changing. It should, this people, if, you voted last time, you can vote this time. I don't think they should be allowed to. I think only, vested voted members should be. That way you have X number of people that you have to, in a particular election, for within the party. But all these random people coming in and out from nowhere, and the list, it never changed. It was always a moving target. And the problem I have is that Jesse had access to everyone's name, email, phone numbers, and he was calling them relentlessly and texting them and sending them letters and sending postcards and all this stuff when none of the other candidates had access to any of those names.
Well, that's what makes it wrong.
That's what makes it unfair.
I mean, he's allowed. You're saying he should
not
have the right to do that.
He should not have done it at all.
Well, I mean, as long as everyone else has the same opportunity, then
that's right. But they don't.
But that is wrong. They are.
It is wrong.
Yeah.
It gives the person in charge a distinct advantage over their opponent.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's amazing advantage.
Yeah, so I'm going to be making some motions at the next meeting that these kinds of things, their big argument was, well, the members haven't given permission. Well, you know what? Next meeting, you're given permission. You're giving permission for candidates running for office within the CCRP to be able to have access to the information. It's the same as if you join, the Latin Chamber. You're a member of that chamber. You get everybody's information. So, what's the problem? We're all Republicans here. What's the problem with the other candidates having access to the names of the voting members? It's not fair that you shouldn't. Not fair at all. And if anyone isn't looking at and saying, you know what, Jesse has the ability to reach into an unlimited number of prospects, that he says that there's about 7,000 email addresses in their total database, but that's not given to Jill or any of the other candidates. And then there's the new people that are coming in, which was about 125. And those, they don't have given any information about them. You're just getting names on a list. But then he has this unlimited pool of people to pull from if he's falling short in his polls. This is what I explained in the outline of the people that weren't there. So, I went and made a motion that there were, like 16 or so people that were not registered Republicans that were on the list to vote. Now, half of them were on the new resolution to add new members. Out of those 8 people, 4 of them were removed and the other 4 were not there.
Right.
And all these people pissing and moaning about me getting up there and holding up the proceedings. I was right, wasn't I?
Yes, I was there. I saw it.
And they were removed.
You're right.
And then the other 8 people, they were existing members.
Right.
Right? And we didn't get to that part of it. Right? Because decided that 8 wasn't going to be. But there's more. There's a lot of people on that list that are not legitimate. And I'm just deciding what I'm going to do about it. We'll find out. Figure I've got a meeting on Tuesday. I might figure out what we're going to do. But I can tell you, I'll bet your ass that I'm going to be putting in some new motions to address some of these issues about, the candidates not having access to, the same thing as the chairman, because then it means an unfair advantage. And that's not fair election. And we are bound by principle, by morals, and we're bound by bylaws to follow election laws, and that means it needs to be fair, equal time kind of thing. Just like if you have a candidate on the radio program, you got to offer equal time to their opponent.
Yes.
Right? It can't be unfair. You can't tie the hands of your opponent and then say, yeah, look how great I am. I run such a great campaign. No, you ran unopposed because you had your opponent locked in a closet. That's exactly what happened. And we'll figure what we need to do about that part of it. And then the other part is, making sure that, if you're running an election that you're involved in, you can't be nowhere near the till. Nowhere near the till. And that just the fact that yes, everyone was watching. Yeah, okay, so we're watching, so that's important for us to watch. But how about just don't put the wolf in the hen house at all? Let the other counties run our elections. They draw names from a hat, and Washoe County or Nye County or whatever, Lincoln County, they go, we're going to go down there and run Vegas's election. That would be impartial and fair, right?
That's the way it should be done.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Makes sense to me. Don't tempt people. Don't create an opportunity, right? Opportunity and ability. Some people would be honest their whole lives until somebody leaves them, sitting around $10,000 cash when they're short on bills that month. That's the day they become a thief. And so to put those security measures in place, it just makes sense. Anybody that thinks that doesn't make sense, what's the problem? I mean, aren't we about election integrity? Aren't we about fair elections? And I think that what was run was disgustingly unfair for Jill. And if more people had an opportunity to hear as much out of Jill as they heard out of Jesse, I think that a lot more people would have been influenced by that.
It seems to me she had 2 minutes Is that what it was? You had 2 minutes to talk.
I know hookers that'll give you more time than that.
Based on what?
I don't
Well, do
know.
you need? You probably don't need more though. Whoa!
Oh, no. Shut up, Mel.
I know.
So no, it was very unfair. She didn't get the same amount of time or access to the people to
Yes.
press the flesh, and get her influence in there. So things need to change. I mean, you watched this. You're not, but people don't know. Mel is not a Republican.
No.
Not at all. And
I was there as a
and
guest.
I snuck him in.
Well, I was there as a guest.
You were there as a guest.
You didn't sneak me in.
I snuck him in a little briefcase. He fits,
Right, okay.
very nicely in a briefcase.
Small briefcase. Yes.
Yeah.
But no,
So, but I mean, you see the same thing from. I mean, am I right here, Mel?
Yeah, you're right. I've been in many organizations throughout my lifetime, and elections are always a pain in the neck and bad. But I've never seen anything like this before. You're right that the person running the meeting was running for chairman. Now he has every right to run meetings. That's his job.
Yeah.
But not the election.
No, and
'Cause he got
all
to
the people
speak.
that were running were people that were running were counting their own ballots.
Yeah.
Like Sally Minster.
Oh,
and,
right,
Like these
right.
people were counting their own ballots.
Which does seem kind of. I don't know.
Oh my God.
It's well. What's the word again?
Improper.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
improper.
wrong.
And Sally Minster agreed with us about this, that, it would take a lot of the burden off them. Well, no, because you'd be running, Nye counties or whatever. You'd be running someone else's election. But we need to split those up. There should be no temptation there, so that there's total and complete confidence in what we're doing. So I want to remind people, look, if you don't have your CCW permit, you're slipping. Get your ass down to VegasCCW.com. Register for a CCW permit. We are getting ready to do another big event, Mel.
Oh.
At the Ahern Hotel, we're going to do another 650 mass CCW called Red Wave CCW, where we're going to be supporting many of the Republican groups, including the CCRP. We'll see if Jesse really meant it when he said he wanted to win in 2024. We'll see it. So we'll explain more after the break. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. This is the Double Tap Show. My name is Nephi Khaliki, and we're here every Saturday from 2 to 3 p.m., whether you like it or not, bitches.
I love when you say that. It just sounds so
fun.
So funny. I don't know I hope no one takes offense.
I
to
don't
it.
care.
No, you do. That's right. You want them to.
I don't care. This
If
is
they're
not
bitches, they
this is
should
not
be.
a show for little sissies.
That's right. Or bitches.
Yeah. So Mel,
Yeah.
tell me what your impressions. You said during the break you started to say it, but I said, you know
mean,
what?
About the
I wanna
red
be
wave.
honest.
See, yeah, I want to know more information about that because I think it should be very. It sounds like it should be very important to your party and to your people.
It's important to you short people too. So the Red Wave CCW is going to be another. We've done these mass CCW classes. Yes. But, as we ramp up to 2024, my plan, and we'll see, I know groups like Turning Point and Battleborn Women and all these other, the Clark County Republican Club or Nevada Republican Club. These are all groups that, we're working with to support. And we want to bring that into, ramping up. Because guess what? You know what CCW permits are? They are the glue that will hold people into the Republican Party. Because we go out there and we get people to get their permits. Guess what? They're not ever going to compromise on that issue. CCW permits are the cement that will bind a person to the party. And it's also the largest voting bloc in Nevada history. And I just looked it up. The Culinary Workers Union is 60,000 members. And they know how to do voting blocks and they know how to do harvesting for ballots and recruiting and getting people over there. But they don't really believe in what they're doing. They're just doing it because if they don't, their asses getting deported, right? They just don't get their jobs. They threaten them with their jobs, basically. Not everybody, but for the most part, right? But that's a problem. That's the Harry Reid machine. Well, we don't have that machine, and I'm going to build that son of a gun. I'm going to build it. 200,000 CCW permit holders now in Nevada. That is the largest voting block. It's almost 3 times the size of Culinary Workers Union. So we're going to kick that off October 1st. We're going to do from 9 to 10 o'clock, we're going to do a non-denominational memorial service for the Vegas Strong, for the victims of 1 October.
Right? Didn't even hit me
Yeah.
at first.
That's
Yes,
why
of
we
course.
picked that date, right?
Well,
That's because that's
that
what
apropos?
started it all for me, Mel.
Yes.
I did the first mass
oh.
CCW event to help those people that were there.
Wow.
Most of those people in that 1,000 CCW class were victims of 1 October that were there. So we're going to do that again, respectfully, and non-denominational kind of a service for an hour. And then from 10 to 6, there's going to be the CCW event. And then the qualifications will be done at Range 702. Chris Chansky and those guys over there, awesome patriots, very supportive of what we're doing. And there's going to be all these different groups like Turning Point and Battleborn Republican Women, the Nevada Republican Club. All these places will be there, have a presence, and to find out how you can engage with something that maybe fits you a little bit more. And like I said in the debates, Mel, and remember this, I said that this idea to organize concealed carriers into the largest voting block in Nevada history. I said, if you want to know if Jesse Law is sincere about what he said, we'll see if he gives me a call and is willing to sit down and talk about this plan, because it's a great plan. Everybody has said from the debates, that is an amazing plan, Nephi. And I can do it. I've already done most of the work. So we'll see. If the CCRP doesn't want to be involved in this event on 1 October, well, then you'll know.
That tells you something there. That
tells you that he can't put his feelings aside. You know, and this is the game, right? I don't take any of this personal. People want to say, oh, you did this and that in campaigning. Well, the campaign's over, so I'm not going to run my mouth about it anymore, right? But while we're campaigning, I'm going to try to slit your throat, right?
Good way of putting it.
Good way of putting it. But when that's over, it's over. You know, even after Lombardo lost, him and I, have had our differences big time. But when he won, I left him alone. Okay, you got in. You got it. Right? I'm not going to keep throwing rocks after, what good is that going to do? Right? So, I didn't want it, and it happened, and then I shut up. So I'm taking a new direction, right? My focus, Mel, is to make sure that, as Irina Hansen, she's running for mayor. She says, I know she told me that she said this to Jesse, that we need to reposition Nephi. He is a weapon, and we need to reposition him towards the Democrats. Nothing would make me happier. Right? There's my friend called me the other day, my best friend Muhammad. He says, oh yeah, I met this person. She's running for mayor. She's a real nice chick, and I go, What's her name? And he said, it was Cara.
Yeah.
I go, you hung out with Cara Jenkins? He goes, oh, yeah, she's real nice, kind of cute. I'm like, bro. Bros before hoes, right? That chick tried to hit me with some BS discrimination charge over telling jokes at the library, and I literally wiped the floor with her freaking paperwork. And I go, that chick is out of her mind, boy. You better not bring her around here. If she sees me, she's going to freak out, right? I think I'm much more suited to smacking Democrats and smacking bad politicians. And I'll smack corrupt Republicans too, right? I'm tired of it from everybody, Mel.
And that's what you should be. Remember, it's always been my theory, Nephi.
They're all no good.
They're
right?
all no good, and they should all be in jail, right? Well, you've heard me say it, but if someone is bad against America, you should be against it. That's all. What else? What more needs to be said? I don't know.
That's how I feel about I'd rather have an honest Democrat than a crooked Republican in office.
Well, that would make sense. Well, remember, that's almost, both of them are almost oxymorons too, of course.
That is true. It is on both sides.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, but I just want I love our Constitution, Mel. And it's like the Bible to me, you know, if you just follow the basics, you'd be all right. Just if you just follow the golden rule of do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
It's,
right?
it's
I mean,
more-
I'd give up all the other stuff in religion to have everybody just follow that. And in politics, I just want what the people want. You know, if people legitimately voted for Obama, I would be happy for them. And I was very happy for the black community when Obama got in. I was not happy for my party because we lost the Super Bowl, but I was happy because, you know what? I thought that that would be the moment in our country where we can finally put racism to bed.
well,
That a black man had finally achieved the highest position of power in the world.
in the world.
I thought that so much healing would happen from just that fact.
And obviously it didn't.
And it didn't, because the only thing Obama did for any one group was gay people. He didn't hook a brother up. I know so many of my black friends are like, Obama didn't do crap for us. He did something for gays, but he didn't do nothing for the black folks. You know, look at the silver at the White House was going out the back door while Obama was in office. I think a lot of us have been like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Go ahead. I didn't see nothing. Right? But that's not what happened. And so I can celebrate the other side. Like, I was very proud because I thought our country had reached a point where, remember, Obama got elected by white America.
Of course.
Yeah, you can't say that all this racism in the world is because, Obama got in. That means white America said, yes, we're all about proving it. We're going to vote for a black man for president. And they did. And then all of a sudden, I thought we were all kumbaya at that point, and then Trump starts running, and poof, the Democrats light that fuse again with Trump. Oh, they totally lit the fuse of racism again by accusing Trump of being a racist right out of the gate.
Oh my God.
I know.
Again, no.
Trump didn't come out and say, I'm racist.
Trump
They accused
is not
him
a
of being
racist. Trump is not a racist. He hates everybody. That's not.
All right.
Nephi, I've said that to you
I
before.
can accept that.
But he does. He hates every. That's my opinion. Remember, opinions. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
But Trump, hey, if you're against him, he's against. That's
That's
it.
how I am.
Well,
you come at me,
okay.
I'm going to smack the smack out of you.
But that's okay. That's almost good.
I'm okay with that.
I
Look, I don't care, Mel. If somebody, I don't want to make this about race. I want, I'm just saying, it was a proud moment for me. Even though we lost, I didn't want a Democrat because I don't play for that team, right? But I was proud at that moment.
Yes.
And then I was so sorely disappointed that it didn't have the effect. That how could we live in a country where white America says, you know what, let's have a black president. And then all of a sudden, everything's racist and topsy-turvy again. But it didn't add up. If white America elected a black president, which did happen, right? I'm not saying they cheated. I'm saying white America elected a black president.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, we're more racist than ever. I'm like, huh? How does that actually work? If we voted for the guy, then that means America's past that. So anyway, that's another subject as we get closer to 2024 elections. But what I want to do in the meantime, and Mel, this is where you and I cross the aisle. You're a lousy, dirty piece of crap Democrat when you vote, and that's okay. I love you.
No, but I'm not.
I know.
I don't vote Democrat because it says a D there. I vote for the person I think is best. Now that could be wrong.
Yeah, I get
but
it.
I vote for after listening to the debates and after listening to, because I do watch the debates, the Republican and Democratic debates, and I pick who I think is better. Which most people
want to hear something, Mel?
Yeah.
I was moved to tears this last week by watching RFK speak.
Oh,
in
moved
Congress.
to tears.
Yeah.
Well, no, because that guy is a complete moron.
No, he's not.
No, he's. Oh my God!
No,
What?
No, he's not. He sounds like crap He sounds like he swallowed a frog.
There's something wrong with his voice.
But listen, beyond that, when he was giving testimony to Congress about how he was being censored and how he said we just need to come together, and he talked about unity and in a way that was very, it kind of reminded me of, ask not what, your country can do for you, but what you could do for your country kind of feel.
Yeah.
Because I realize I'm looking at a Democrat. And I'm watching Democrats eat him alive, cannibalize one of their own.
He's not a Democrat. I'm hoping
he's
that he
still
runs
a Democrat
by words, but
that
he's not. He doesn't believe in anything that that Americans believe.
Democrats have lost their minds.
I'm hoping that he runs as an independent. That Kennedy runs as an independent.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm hoping that's.
Look, Kennedy's one of my favorite presidents. JFK.
Oh, well, okay.
Because
I agree
I
with
was
that.
moved by his speeches, and I was moved by the ideas, and I also know that he was. I think him and Trump are kind of the same. Trump.
What?
Listen, just shut your pie hole and listen to what I'm saying. JFK was killed because he threatened to dismantle the CIA and expose a plot to enslave every young man.
That's one of the 27 theories, right? Okay, keep going.
Right?
Yeah.
Clearly, someone killed him. Okay.
Well,
so that's a fact. That's not a theory.
That is a fact,
right? And they went after him, right, because he opposed the CIA's involvement in a lot of things,
which is one of the better ones. Yes.
Well, somebody clearly took him out, and clearly Lee Harvey Oswald was he wasn't killed for no reason, and then they kill the guy that did it. Come on, man, that's classic.
The one thing I lived through the whole thing. Remember,
Kennedy didn't.
Kennedy didn't, right? No, I lived through the whole thing. I was working in an architectural office when it happened. But that's.
But my point is,
yeah,
he was opposed to the machine. He was opposed to the deep state.
There were other things, yes.
You stay with me. Trump, same thing. Look at how much they go after him. They're trying to put the guy in jail.
Well,
they find cocaine at the White House, and they don't have security cameras in the most important building in the world. And there's we don't know what happened. And the casinos could have found it. They could see the date on a quarter on the ground from 17 floors.
That's your number one argument.
Shut up. You know what I mean. I'm just talking about in general. Cocaine in the White House is the least of the problems. He's a crackhead.
Wrong. So I believe that there's a cover-up somewhere involved. Of course.
And he got off easy with his tax stuff.
But that's not a defense of what happened.
No, they protected him. You know damn well.
No, it's not.
And look, we're gonna get it. Me and you, Mel.
We're
over
soon.
As we get this closer.
When do we start?
We're going at it. I'm gonna reach across this desk and strangle you.
What will it be after the third indictment, the fourth or fifth or sixth? We'll finally get into it.
But the more they indict Trump, the more people get behind him.
I keep hoping you believe that. See, that's right. I hope you keep believing that.
It's true. Look at the polls.
I guess it's amazing how different polls.
I'm not going to look at them attacking Trump and go, you know what? I'm done with him. They keep attacking him. The more they attack him, the more I'm going to vote for him.
You believe in the Constitution. You said that.
I do believe in the Constitution. Of course. It's the Bible for our country.
When we come back, we're going to break soon. The one thing that I've set other Republicans straight about is that thing called the Presidential Records Act.
Whatever.
I'd like to hear because I've set Republicans straight on that one. I'd like to ask.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Well,
you might know some dumb ones. Anyway, we're going to go to break real quick, but I want to rehash. Shut up, Mel. I want to rehash the event, the CCW, Red Wave CCW, which is going to kick off. Nevada Republicans binding together under the banner of concealed carry, right, to make sure that we enter 2024 strong and ready to win, ready to shut people like Mel up and have Mel voting for Trump.
Oh, my God.
I'll make you do it. I'll make you do it. So if you're interested in getting your CCW permit right now, you can go to vegasccw.com. and join the army, join the militia of CCW permit holders, and we'll make this a fun and exciting class for you with yours truly, Nephi Khaliki. So we'll be back right after the break to put the final nail in the coffin.
You gotta know when to draw down, when to call the law down, know when to move and know when to shoot. You better move for cover in the middle of the gunfight. There's no time to be a hero till the shooting's done.
All right, we are back.
We're having fun.
I know, man. It's a fun. You know, people don't know that. That's me singing. Shut.
I was there.
That better not have went on over the air, Ashley. Ashley's in there. Stick to your day jobs in our ear. Did you hear her say that?
Well, I'm not a singer, but I did all right.
But that is me singing.
Oh,
I
that's
did
you?
that.
Oh.
That's me singing.
Yeah. Oh.
And the song in the front, I'm also singing on that track. So, hey, guess what? We got a caller on the phone now. We're going to go to Gary. Gary, welcome to the Double Tap Show.
Hey, I can't believe you said what I was going to say. That's you singing.
That is.
Oh, yes.
That opening song is better than the one that Sean Hannity has. And in fact, the one that Sean Hannity has, and I'm guilty of listening to his show. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I belong to the Fascist Party of America, but his song is gay. I don't care what anyone says. You have integrity, man. And if it gets back to you that I've been talking about you and leaving messages, bad ones about you, it's because I was drinking again and forgot to take my medicine. I just want to say about Jesse Law and what you were speaking about, because you have a show and they only give you an hour so far. They should give you more. Perception. What's the expression in politics? Perception is something or something, and what you're saying is you should be the sheriff someday. I want you to run for sheriff. In fact, I want you to put on a sheriff's uniform and a badge, you know, even though they're going after Joe Lombardo for that. If you do that, you'll be on News 3 and all the news shows making news, and I don't know what they'll hit you with a $100,000 fine, but you'll get like $1 million worth of publicity. You should be some kind of sheriff here in Las Vegas because, what do you call it? You won me over again. That's what I'm trying to say. Do your show. Rock on, baby. You're good.
Thanks, Gary. I appreciate the call, brother. So, got a strong fan of Gary, but I'm not. You know, I really am happy with Kevin McMahill. So,
yes,
I'm not. And you know, unfortunately, Gary, you have to be former LE now in Nevada. You used to be able to run for sheriff as anybody, but now you got to be a former cop, which I don't really think that's cool either, right? That means that everybody goes through the good old boy system. You know, you got to be one of us. Can't make any changes when you were all brought up on the same diet. But Mel, I want to talk about the Red Wave CCW, right? Because I really think this is for you and I. This is a connection because you're a concealed carrier,
yes,
and I'm a concealed carrier, and we both have different opinions about politics, but not the politics of self-defense. And I think that's a really strong way to reach into the independents and or even reach into some Democrats. And I think if Biden actually runs again, I think it's going to really be bad for Democrats because I just think everybody can see pretty obviously that Biden he's got a few marbles in there bouncing around. You can hear it when he walks. They make this rattling noise. And I don't think it's going to be. There's no way they could push Biden another term. There's no way, no way. The guy can't barely stand up, and he can't speak for crap. But I want to make sure, Mel. This is the thing for me. I want to make sure, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat, that's what the voice of the people really wanted. I will respect whoever wins or loses legitimately. That's what the cost of freedom is. Is it fair? You said in the break about honesty and you hate liars. So do I.
you're saying the right thing. You're saying exactly right. The problem is that there's a lot of people in this country do not believe that. I mean, obviously, look what's going on. And that's
the two parties were designed to create balance.
Yes, and all organizations need not controversy. They did the opposing views,
Yeah.
but afterwards you're supposed to get together for the good of the people,
So
for the good of the organization.
the two parties are one tightens and one relaxes. That is what conservative is tighten and liberal is relax. Right? That's the creation and release of tension. That's
Okay,
supposed
but,
to be what creates the balance, because we go too far one way, the other side pulls it back to center, right? So independents, I think, are trying to bring that to fruition, but it's not my team should win every Super Bowl. It's not supposed to be that way. That's how I felt when Obama won. I was like, okay, we need this, right? Our country needs to move past racism, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, cool, we can have a black president. We might have to retrain Secret Service to hold their guns upright, take their badges off of gold chains and take the spinners off the limos. But it's a good thing for this country. It's a good thing for this country. I was happy with that. But my focus is getting people in their concealed weapons permits, because nothing, no law that's passed or anything that happens is going to be able to protect anyone. And I find it really odd that people in the Democrat Party are trying to say, protect the children in school shootings. They're celebrating in the back rooms because whenever a bunch of kids get shot, they celebrate because they can use that as a tool to say, hey, well, think about the children. Well, that's very hypocritical, because when you talk about abortions, they're like, don't think about them. They're not even human. They're not a life yet. Kill them all, right? My body, my choice. Well, yeah, same thing for me. My body, my choice. You mess with my body, it's my choice to shoot you. Don't mess with people. I'm all about people being protected in their rights, and that's something I think that we, it shouldn't be political. We've talked about this before.
Yes.
Since gun rights are human rights, and everyone has a right to protect themselves and their families and those around them against evil.
Nephi, just a question. Why do you always make it sound like all your things, this red wave stuff, is only for Republicans, to unite Republicans? Why? Why can't it? I believe
because the stupid
I believe
Democrats
in guns.
will never. Yes, but Mel, you're old school Democrat. Like my best friend since I was 5 years old is a Democrat, and he always signs his Christmas cards, "I'm still voting Democrat," right? Which is hilarious. It's a 45-year running joke. But Democrats, man, they don't want to have a conversation with anybody, Mel. Not the ones, not the old hippies, free love and no condoms kind of Democrats, but the modern day ones are the most intolerant people you will ever meet in society. They don't want to have a conversation with anybody about nothing. They repeat themselves like 5-year-olds.
You just defined to me the Republican Party.
Huh? We love having conversations about this stuff, but they just won't talk to anyone.
Okay.
If you disagree with them, we talk about stuff all the time. You don't have people, like Turning Point and all these Democrat people doing these speeches and talking. Where's the Democrat Ben Shapiro? You don't have them. They don't want to talk. They just want to yell and burn crap down. Yeah. See what happens?
No, I'm thinking that.
We'll get back to it, but I want people to know you're going to find us now. I'm joining America Happens Network. It's a big news, and I tell people. It's an emerging network, has a lot of shows with Joey Gilbert and Mindy Robinson, and I'm making this announcement today here, Mel. We're going to be joining as a part of the America Happens Network, AmericaHappens.com, and we're going to start bringing this, so not from I'm just here, but expanding our reach, because we're kicking ass and taking names. And we made a name for ourselves, Mel, over the last 6 months of being on the air.
Right.
Definitely the most feared voice in radio. So we will see you next time. This is the Double Tap Show.